Well, hello, and welcome to another episode of That Boy. You know, I'm glad I'm not super famous like some YouTubers who constantly got to churn out videos every day, every minute, every hour, bye. Because I don't know if I can keep up with that schedule. But I also kind of wish like I had people watching my stuff, but then I don't. It's kind of this confliction with what I want to do in my life, right? Like, where do I want to be? What career do I want to have? What choices do I want to make? What kind of a name do I want to make for myself? You know? There was this question posed to me yesterday. It's, would you rather... I accidentally cut off the video. I'll have to splice these together. But the question was, would I rather find meaning or make meaning? And I guess that's kind of what I wanted to talk about in this video. Kind of wanted to mull it over, rant about it a little bit, maybe come to a good answer. Because I've never thought about that too much. Right off the bat, I would assume I'd rather find meaning. But then also to make it, you know, because you can't find meaning without making meaning, but then you can't make meaning without finding a meaning, right? It's starting to sound like a tongue twister. I don't know. I guess that's a moral, maybe not necessarily moral, but like a inner conflict resolution kind of thing. Like, I feel like if you find meaning, you're just waiting for things to happen to you instead of going out there and doing it yourself, you know? Because, like, I like to take day trips. That's one thing that I very much love doing. And day trips don't just come to me. It's not like it's put in my lap one day, here's the gas money and the map and your hotel room and what have you. Like, that isn't just handed to me. I have to go out of my way to do these things. I have to plan where I'm going to go. I have to wake up in the morning. I have to pay for the gas. If I have to stay the night somewhere, I have to pay for the hotel. So, to me, one of my meanings in life is nature. So, I'm not going to find meaning in nature unless I go out into nature, if that makes sense. I have to make that effort. I have to step out my door and go touch grass. So I think you have to make meaning. But then I could also argue that because when I went to New York back in 2023, my buddies and I were biking around Central Park, and I'd never really been to Central Park. I've been to New York before this, so I've seen a lot of New York. I'd never really been to Central Park, and they were doing a bike thing where we were biking around it. I was like, I want to explore Central Park a little more. They were going to the MoMA next. So I'm like, you know what? I've been to the MoMA. You guys go to the MoMA. I'll meet you at the Museum of Natural History in like an hour or something. And they're like, alright, okay. So I explored Central Park. I walked around and looked at all the stuff around there, and I finished off at Bethesda Square because that was one of the places displayed in the John Wick movies. So I kind of wanted to see that too. I believe it was in one of the Home Alone movies too, but I don't remember which one or if it was. I do know it was in the John Wick movie. So I wanted to visit that too while I was there, and after I was done, I was starting to head back, and I got a little lost, only because Central Park is confusing if you're not from Central Park. So I ended up finding like this cool little, I don't want to say marketplace so much, but this this little area where a bunch of stuff was happening, and they had benches. And there was like a volleyball court next to it, and I was tired. I'm a bigger guy, so I was tired. I'm like, I'm gonna take a quick break. I want to sit on the bench for like 10 minutes or something, catch my breath, and then I'm gonna start heading to the museum. New York is a very busy place. If you've never been there or never heard anything about it, Manhattan is incredibly busy. And I sat down on this park bench and all the sound disappeared. I shit you not. It was so surreal. It was incredible at the same time, but it was surreal because everything around me disappeared. All I could hear was the local happenings, what was right in front of me, the people at the volleyball court and what have you. That's all I could hear. I just sat there for 10 minutes in peace. And that whole make meaning and finding meaning, it is one of those moments in life where I found meaning. So I can make an argument for both aspects. Because I found meaning on that park bench in Central Park in Manhattan, in New York. That meaning was, despite there being complete chaos surrounding me, I can have peace. You know, there's those tranquil, beautiful moments where you can just sit down on a park bench and just enjoy what's around you and not be worried about everything else. Now, don't get me wrong, I love Manhattan, but it freaks me out too. Because it is a big city, and crime and stuff does happen there. It's not like it's completely free from these things. But it's still a beautiful city. And I went to school for architecture. So I'm around all kinds of different architecture, right? Manhattan has everything from like Victorian to urban to rural to just modern. And like there's all kinds of culture and stuff just clashing, and it's beautiful, but it's chaotic at the same time. And sitting on that park bench, none of that mattered. And not in a good way or bad way, just that moment was what mattered. Just that peace and tranquility I was feeling, experiencing, sitting on that park bench. Watching the people play volleyball in the little volleyball court next to us, or next to where I was sitting. If I could find a picture, I don't know if I took a picture of this area, but if I can find a picture, I'll try to connect it to this video somehow. I'm sure it's in my New York trip video. I do have a video on my New York trip, so it's in there somewhere. So if you wanna see some of the stuff I did and saw in New York, it's in that video. I didn't do everything. I went to Manhattan with my grandpa back in 2009. So I'd been there before. So there was a bunch of stuff that I'd already done. But Manhattan is just so vast. There's so much to do. I've been there twice now, and I still haven't experienced everything it has to offer. The first time I went, of course, I went to the Empire State Building. I didn't get to go this time around, but that's okay. I'd already been there. But the things I did get to experience this time around that I didn't get to experience last time was like the one tower, and then Top of the Rock. That was super cool. The Top of the Rock was awesome. But what was really cool about the one tower is the elevator that takes you all the way up to the top floor. It has these video screens on it. You get to see the progression of Manhattan over time on these video screens as you're riding up the elevator to the top. It's so friggin' cool. But like, despite me being there twice now, I still haven't experienced everything there is to experience. Part of the reason that my moniker is Mr. Project Manhattan is literally for that reason. Like, I want to be able to experience most of what Manhattan has to offer before I die. It's one of my favorite places. And it's because of how chaotic and just all over the place it is. I love it. I love the clash of cultures. I love how on one end you're in one area and then you go to the other end of Manhattan, it's just a completely different area. It's fucking awesome. It's just truly beautiful, but it's chaos. Some of the things I still got to do, go back there. I want to go to Broadway, of course. I haven't been to Madame Tussauds. Just name a couple things. Like, I haven't been to those things yet. Those are just two things. There's some other John Wick movie locations I still didn't get to see when I was in Manhattan. Like, I got to see a couple of the buildings, including the iron, what are they called? The iron building, something. Still so much I want to do. My point relating to this video, again, though, is just like, I found meaning that day, and it was awesome. Just sitting on a park bench in the middle of Central Park. It was so cool. I'll never, I don't want to say never, but it'll probably be a long time before I'll ever capture that feeling again. I genuinely wanted to just stay there, not forever, but a lot longer than I actually had, you know, because we were only there for 3 days. I could only stay in that park bench for so long, where I was going to miss out on more of the other stuff. But it is what it is. That's why I want to go back. I'll have to start saving money so I can go back. But to add to that question, do you find meaning or do you make meaning? I think it doesn't matter. You do what makes you feel happy. If you want to go find meaning, go find meaning. If you want to make meaning, or if you want it to fall in your lap, let it fall in your lap. Do what makes you happy. It's just dependent on you. Whatever makes you content, whatever makes you feel good in life, do it.